Besides Reuben and Gad, what other tribe would inherit land east of the Jordan? This is the question that we seek to answer today as we continue our verse-by-verse study of the book of Numbers on Walking Through the Bible.
Glory of his cross.
If you have a Bible with you, you can turn to Numbers 32. We're going to be reading from verses 31 to 42. If you don't have a Bible, don't worry. Just follow along with us on the screen. The version that we'll be reading from is the New King James Version. So, Numbers 32, beginning at verse 31. Then the children of Gad and the children of Reuben answered, saying, As the Lord said to your servants, so we will do. We will cross over armed before the Lord into the land of Canaan. But the possession of our inheritance shall remain with us on this side of the Jordan. So Moses gave to the children of Gad, to the children of Reuben, and to half the tribe of Manasseh, the son of Joseph, the kingdom of Sihon, king of the Amorites, and the kingdom of Og, king of Bashan, the land with its city within its borders, the cities of the surrounding country. And the children of Gad built Dibon, and Ataroth, and Eror, and Atroth, and Shophan, and Jazer, and Jogbannah, Beth Nimrah, and Beth Haran, fortified cities and folds for sheep. And the children of Reuben built Heshbon, and Eliah, and Kirjathaim, and Nebo, and Baal-meon, their names being changed, and Shipma. And they gave other names to the cities which they built. And the children of Machir, the son of Manasseh, went to Gilead, and took it, and dispossessed the Amorites who were in it. So Moses gave Gilead to Machir, the son of Manasseh, and he dwelt in it. Also Jair, the son of Manasseh, went and took its small towns, and called them Havoth-Jair. Then Nobah went in and took Kenath and its villages, and he called it Nobah after his name. What we've been dealing with in this chapter is a request from the children of Reuben and Gad that they receive their inheritance on the east side of the Jordan River instead of the west side. The reason for this request is that this area was very suitable to raise sheep, and of which these two tribes had an abundance of. Now Moses originally thought that these two tribes were trying to keep themselves from having to go into battle, instead settling in already conquered land. He warned them that discouraging the nation of Israel, as their actions might have done, was dangerous, because that's what their fathers had done, which resulted in 40 years of wilderness wandering. However, Reuben and Gad said they didn't have any such intentions. They would go into battle with the rest of Israel and would help subdue the land, and only then would they return to their families and flocks, settled before in the land east of the Jordan. Moses agreed to this request on the condition that they not renege. Since he was going to die and not be able to enforce the agreement, Moses had Joshua, Eleazar, and the chief fathers of the tribes of Israel bear witness to it. If Reuben and Gad did renege, they would be forced to cross the Jordan and inherit land there. Reuben and Gad agreed to these conditions, and were told that they began to build their cities. Many of the names of these cities were changed from their original names, but the names we will not focus on here, though we may refer to them in future studies. Verse 33, though, does give us an interesting piece of information, that half the tribe of Manasseh would also receive land on the east side of the Jordan. Now, as far as we know, they were not included in this request by the children of Reuben and Gad, so why would Moses do this? Well, remember that during the period of wilderness wandering, the tribe of Manasseh grew the most, 20,500 men. That meant that they now totaled 52,700 men of war. So it is obvious that they needed more land. But it is also obvious that of all the tribes in Israel, the children of Manasseh were being blessed by God, showing us that there were faithful people among them. So perhaps this is God rewarding the children of Manasseh for their overall faithfulness during this time. Let's also remember who Manasseh is, the oldest child of Joseph. Back in Genesis, when it was time to give out the blessings, Reuben should have received the birthright, since he was the oldest. But since Reuben went in and had sex with Jacob's concubine Bilhah, Jacob stripped Reuben of his birthright. Instead, he gave it to Joseph, who was his favorite son, yes, but who had also suffered so much in Egypt because of the sins of his brothers, and was the reason that Israel was saved from the famine. The birthright, the double portion of the inheritance that went to Joseph, thus was given to Manasseh and Ephraim. However, with Manasseh being the oldest, he too should have received a birthright, a double inheritance. we're going to find that unlike Reuben and Gad, Manasseh would receive land on both sides of the Jordan, a double inheritance. Thus, half the tribe would be on the east side of the Jordan in the area of Gilead, while half would be on the west side in what would largely become the territory of the Samaritans in the time of Jesus. The reason that Moses gave Manasseh 2 portions of land is only speculation on our part, and perhaps there's some other unmentioned reason as to why this was done. But regardless, Manasseh was going to receive land on the east side of the Jordan, which would stretch all the way up to Mount Hermon, near where Jesus proclaimed to his disciples that on this rock he would build his church in Matthew 16:18. With the land now being given out to these 2.5 tribes, we're getting even closer to the time when Moses would die and Israel would attack Jericho. In chapter 33, then, we're going to get a little history lesson on what we studied thus far, and so we hope that you'll join us for that. With that, our time is up for today. Lord willing, we hope you'll join us for tomorrow's discussion of Numbers 33, verses 1 to 15, as we continue our walk through the Bible, one verse at a time. Thank you for watching today's episode. We hope that you found it edifying and ask that you not only subscribe to our channel and podcast, but that you like and share this episode among your friends, so that the saving gospel of Jesus Christ can go out to the whole world.